We are exposed to more and more chemicals every single year. Last I checked, we use over 85,000 chemicals in the US, and I checked about 10 years ago, and it was like 18 was the number for long-term safety that had been tested. So we use a massive number of chemicals in our products in the US. This does not include food, this is chemicals. Those include plastics, those include the chemicals we spray on different things, and everything else that we use to build things. With that, we're exposed to more and more things every single year. And these different things cause anything from gut dysfunction to hormonal dysfunction to immune dysfunction. Some of them are carcinogenic, so they cause cancer. Some of them increase the likelihood of us having all-cause mortality or dying for any reason. So there are a lot of different things that we're exposed to that have a profound impact on our health. That's something we should know, right? If we are working with something on a consistent basis that's causing problems, probably want to know about it so we can address it, right? A study was done in Italy, and this study came out last week as far as I know. It's very interesting because it took something we're exposed to every single day, something we're exposed to over and over again every single day, and it examined the difficulties that it can present. They took plastic, and they looked at it in a different way. You know, there's studies out there that have shown that it can throw off immune function. They've shown that it can increase inflammation. They've shown that it can throw off endocrine levels, so hormonal function. So there's a lot of different studies that have been done, but I have not seen any others that address the heart. So what they did is they took patients that were having angioplasty. They were taking plaques out of their arteries, right? And on the plaques that they removed, they looked to see if they found microplastics in there. Up to 72% of those people had microplastics in their plaques. Now, they didn't say that plastics are the cause of those. They didn't know if that was the cause or if it's their work or whatever else. They did not look at that. That's not something that's been done yet. So don't take this as plastic causes this, but we need to look a little further and figure out exactly what's going on with this. So they found up to 72%, and again, they didn't elucidate on the numbers very well. They said 60% had one type of plastic, 12% had another type of plastic. That 12% very well could be in the 60%, so up to 72%. But at least 60% had one, 12% had another. So it's hard to break down the numbers to know exactly which percentage. The interesting thing about that, the people that had microplastics in their plaques were followed for 3 years. 34 months, I believe, was the exact number. In that 34 months, they were 4.5 times more likely to die from heart attack, stroke, all-cause mortality. Or they actually, I take that back. It was not die from a heart attack. They were non-fatal heart attacks, stroke, or die for any reason. So fatal heart attacks would have been included in that. 4.5 times more likely. I mean, that's a big number, right? Like I said, other studies have shown that increased inflammation in heart cells, increased or impaired blood flow in heart cells. It's shown that it can cause scarring in heart cells in animal studies. So plastics are probably not an innocuous thing. They're probably not something that we should be wrapping our food in every single day. They also found that microplastics were stuck in our immune cells. Obviously, our immune cells are not going to work as well if they've got plastics stuck at them. Our inflammation numbers were driven up. So this brings the question of what other type of issues does this lead to? If you've got increased inflammation in the body, increased inflammation is associated with all diseases, right? It's going to decrease your ability to cellularly function the way that you need to. It's going to decrease your ability to detoxify the way that you need to. It's going to decrease your ability to sleep the way that you need to. All these different things are going to be affected. They all affect our health in a multitude of ways, and it's not just heart disease. It's not just inflammation. It's not just cancer. It's all of these health things, right? And there's so many of these other chemicals. Like I said, we use 85,000 chemicals in the US, and a handful are tested for long-term safety. It's kind of a scary thing, right? Something that we definitely should be investigating a little bit more. So, when you are storing things, like what type of packaging are you storing them in? When you're buying your foods, what type of packaging are you buying them in? Are you making food at home, or are you buying processed food? Now, their solution to this is just boil your water before you drink it. That's one thing that I suppose that would work. It's a very cheap and easy thing to do, but it's a hassle, right? There are filters that do a better job that can remove some of this stuff from your deal. The ones that are in your fridge probably aren't going to be the ones that cut it. The Brita filters, maybe not, but reverse osmosis and some of those different processes can be something that's very, very good. And if you look in the comments, I will put in there the system that I use. So think about this. We use 85,000 chemicals. We know that a lot of those disrupt our gut. We know that a lot of those are disrupting our hormones. We know that a lot of them are leading down a negative pathway for our health. So what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to change the cellular function of your body? What are you doing to detoxify those things from your body? It's a big question, and that's what we do every single day. I hope that you have a phenomenal day. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next video.